Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Christopher Curtis, born in this evening edition of Fire for Liberty. Very unique, of course, accelerated episode, of course, unique type of co-creative, expansive, very co-expansive, believe it or not, cooperative, believe it or not, and have aspects of unity derived in and throughout, and up and down, and of course, multifaceted nature of this one of the kind sort of specific edition or broadcast radio show presentation. Of course, keeping in mind all of the long-term goals which are stated throughout various points in time, which is also subject to change. But, however, the awareness of those changes, I will state, are this is your host, Christopher Curtis, born in this evening edition, Fire for Liberty. Condensation of not only the co-creative expansiveness of what is supposed to be versus what's not is supposed to be transparent, or just ultimately the knowing of what is supposed to be known and what isn't supposed to be known, even though that's kind of a basic understanding. However, one of the key aspects of what is just one of the very simple unlocking mechanisms is, and also, one of the next openings to the next, for example, chapter? Nah, not chapter. Realm. However, of course, to be honest, and to be realistic, and to be, of course, respecting the sovereignty of the human race, the nature, and of course every conscious being, even though, and it is apparent, one of the characteristics of consciousness, I am consciousness, the respect towards, of course, nature, sentient beings, all beings, is to, of course, reiterate some of the important natures of what is necessary for sovereignty purposes, liberty, freedom, and, of course, diversity purposes, which is a grand amount of respect. So that clarity, and, of course, that realm is opened, or always been open, to be honest. And I say that seriously, and I say that focusedly, and I say that importantly, because yes, there are many multifaceted aspects of what needs to be understood, as well as many multifaceted aspects of what is already known, in terms of the not only the big picture, but the large and medium big picture. So, just below the bigger picture, I would say, is the type of clarity that's provided, that's understood, and that's needed for the types of, for example, creational, listicle, fantastic natures. So this is, believe it or not, a short edition of the broadcast of the radio pronunciation, and I say pronunciation as that word, quote, pronunciation, unquote, is a personification of what is the English word for quote unquote personification, or excuse me, quote unquote pronunciation. Understand this, of course, still, this is not only an understanding of the clarity of moving forward, it is the essence of it is in essence of the understanding of a mindset clarity, of a thought form clarity, excuse me, not necessarily a mindset clarity, a thought form clarity. This is your host, Christopher Malcurtis Bowen, very broad in order to promote, accelerate, and advance freedom in order to advance at the very, advance, ascend, up, down, left, right, higher consciousness, lower consciousness, regardless, it's to be understood, not necessarily regardless as to disregard, but to regardless as to understand that it's a understanding of what shall become. This is your host, Christopher Malcurtis Bowen, in this evening edition of Fire of Liberty. Love you all.